Hello, fragrance specialists! My name is Chance, and welcome to my guide to aromatherapy. Today, we have a very special essential oil in store for us, and a very unique one as well, but more on that in a little bit. Today, we're talking about Blue Tansy, also known as Tansium annuum. At least, I don't know. I know I'm pronouncing all these Latin names wrong, not my native tongue, of course, but pretty close to that at the very least. This flower is native to Morocco, which is pretty cool, so a little bit more tropical, and it is the thickest consistency oil we've covered so far, which is rather unique. It's a cool oil. It also has a blue consistency to it, which is really interesting stuff, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But let's move on to its profile. The scent is described as sweet and fruity and possesses subtle floral, camphorous, and herbaceous undertones. Camphorous and herbaceous indicate that it kind of smells a little bit like medicine. It's not a bad scent at all, but it's certainly unique. Under uses, you'll see asthma, muscular aches, and eczema. And under method of extraction, it is steam distilled, much like many of our oils. It blends well with quite a large variety of oils, some of which you've actually covered on this channel already. We will, of course, be covering all of them as time progresses. But let's dive in. Bergamot, cedarwood, clary sage, frankincense, geranium, lavender, lemon, neroli, patchouli, rose, sandalwood, and ylang. And under notes, it's going to be worth noting that some oils of Blue Tansy actually have a nasty habit of staining. As it gets to its more concentrated forms, it has almost a ink-like viscosity to it, so just be careful when you're handling this stuff, especially once again at those higher concentrations. Make sure you're not wearing anything you wouldn't mind getting stained. Outside of that, it is a relatively safe oil to use, so long as your dilution's fine. Outside of that, yeah, it's pretty popular. Now let's dive into its history. It was first recorded being cultivated by the ancient Greeks for medicinal purposes. In the 8th century AD, it was grown in the herb gardens of the Swiss monastery of St. Gall. Tansy was formerly used as a flavoring for puddings and omelets, which is so cool, I didn't know that. But it is now almost unknown except in Cork, where it is used in a sauce to accompany dershins, which is really interesting. Once again, I had absolutely no clue that Blue Tansy was used in food of any variety. Rather interesting stuff, but like most oils, it is always refreshing to know that it has a long history and that it has carried through to many other countries as well. Once again, starting out with the ancient Greeks and moving all the way to Swiss monasteries. It is, of course, a great indicator that shows many cultures throughout time have trusted this stuff quite reliably, and it has presumably served them well. Now let's dive into a recipe. I'm going to start doing these in every video just to give you guys an idea of how to use it. This recipe is super simple. It is a cooling touch massage oil. And its recipe is incredibly straightforward and very cost effective as well. It is 3 drops of Blue Tansy and 1 tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, just to, of course, make an oil. And in terms of instructions, just massage into the bottom of your feet before bed to help ease nervous tension and provide cooling relief after a long day of movement and activity. It's pretty cool stuff. Once again, we have partnered up with Rocky Mountain Essential Oils, so check out those links down in the description, and be sure to mention any thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns you might have about this oil, as well as any uses, of course. That being said, I hope you all have a great day, and as always, may all of your future endeavors smell divine.